You know, it's funny how we remember things. We remember the heroes, the last stands, the legends carved in stone. We remember Leonidas and his 300 Spartans at Thermopylae, a story of impossible odds and ultimate sacrifice. And we should. It's a story that echoes through eternity for a reason. But what if I told you that wasn't the end? What if I told you the most famous last stand in history was actually just the opening act for the real, final showdown? A showdown born not just of defiance, but of cold, hard revenge. This isn't just a story about a single battle. This is about what happens when an empire, the largest the world had ever seen, pushes a collection of stubborn, bickering city-states too far. When you burn their holy sites, kill their king, and make the fatal mistake of thinking you've won. This is the story of 479 BC. This is the story of Plataea, the Spartan revenge that didn't just end a war, it ended Persia's dream for good. All right, let's set the scene properly. It's been a year since the inferno at Thermopylae. Xerxes, the great Persian king, the king of kings, has had a complicated time. On one hand, his massive army had finally broken through the hot gates. He'd marched south and done the unthinkable. He'd captured and torched Athens, the very heart of the Greek resistance. He'd even done it twice, just to make a point. But then, Salamis happened. A naval battle in the narrow straits near Athens that was a complete and utter catastrophe for the Persians. Their massive fleet, their key to supplying their massive army, was now a collection of splintered wood and drowning men at the bottom of the Aegean. So, imagine you're Xerxes. You're sitting in a conquered, burnt-out city, deep in hostile territory. Your navy is gone, your supply lines are a nightmare, and winter is coming. More importantly, you're terrified of being trapped in Europe. If the Greek fleet sails north and destroys your bridge of boats across the Hellespont, you're stuck. So, he does what any sensible, slightly panicked king would do. He declares victory, takes the best of his army, and hightails it back to Asia, leaving his top general, Mardonius, to finish the job. And let's talk about Mardonius for a second. This guy isn't just some random general. He's Xerxes' cousin, and he was one of the main voices pushing for this invasion from the very beginning. His personal reputation is on the line. He has to win. He's left with a huge, elite force and a simple mission: crush the remaining Greeks and bring this land under Persian rule. He's confident, arrogant even. He genuinely believes the Greeks are broken, that their alliance is a house of cards ready to collapse. He spends the winter playing diplomat. He sends an envoy to the Athenians, who are now refugees on the island of Salamis, looking at the smoking ruins of their homes. And he makes them an incredible offer. Side with us, he says. We will forgive you. We will help you rebuild your city, bigger and better than before. We will give you more territory. You can be the preeminent power in Greece, under our gentle guidance, of course. The Spartans get word of this, and they panic. If Athens, with its powerful navy, switches sides, the war is over. They send their own ambassadors, begging the Athenians to hold firm. And the Athenians, standing amidst the wreckage of their lives, give one of the most badass replies in history. They tell Mardonius's envoy to get lost. Their message was clear. So long as the sun holds its present course, we will never come to terms with Xerxes. They then turn to the Spartans and say, essentially, that's our answer. Now where the hell is your army? Because all this time, the Spartans are being Spartans. They're celebrating a religious festival. They're debating. They're being infuriatingly cautious. They had promised to build a wall across the Isthmus of Corinth, basically abandoning Athens to its fate. The rest of Greece is screaming for them to march north. The pressure is immense. Mardonius, his diplomatic efforts rejected, gets angry. He marches on Athens again and finishes the job of leveling it. The message is clear: defy me, and this is your fate. And finally, something in Sparta shifts. Whether it's the shame, the pleas of their allies, or the simple burning memory of their dead king Leonidas, the Spartans decide it's time. The festivals are over. The debating is done. It's time to march. And when the full might of Sparta marches to war, all of Greece answers the call. This wasn't just an army. This was the largest Greek force ever assembled in one place. Tens of thousands of heavily armed hoplites. The Spartans came in their full strength. The Athenians, with nothing left but the clothes on their backs and a thirst for payback, fielded 8,000 men. The Corinthians, the Tegeans, the Megarians, the dozens of city-states, putting aside their petty rivalries for one last, desperate stand. A sea of bronze and iron, marching with one purpose. Leading them is the Spartan regent, Pausanias. He's the nephew of Leonidas, and he's now the guardian of Leonidas's young son. The weight of his family's honor and the fate of all of Greece rests on his shoulders. You can bet revenge was on his mind. Mardonius hears they're coming. He knows he can't fight this massive phalanx army in the hilly terrain around Athens. He needs open, flat ground where his greatest advantage, his superb cavalry, can maneuver and wreak havoc. He falls back to Boeotia, near the town of Plataea, and there, on the banks of the Asopus River, he builds a massive fortified camp. He's setting the stage. He's daring the Greeks to come down from the hills and fight him on his terms. And what follows is not an immediate, glorious battle. What follows is an incredibly tense, brutal standoff. For 11 long days, the two armies stare at each other across the plain. The Greeks hold the high ground in the foothills of Mount Cithaeron, their phalanx useless on the broken slopes, but safe. The Persians hold the plain. It becomes a waiting game, a brutal war of attrition. Mardonius sends his cavalry, led by the dashing and formidable commander Mecistius, to harass the Greeks day after day. They are a constant, deadly menace, riding up the slopes, launching javelins, taunting the Greek hoplites who can't effectively fight back. They raid the Greek supply lines coming through the mountain passes, making life miserable. Then, one of these skirmishes turns into a major fight. Mecistius himself is killed, pulled from his horse and swarmed by Athenians. His death is a huge blow to Persian morale and a massive boost for the Greeks. They've proven the invincible Persian cavalry can be beaten, but still, Pausanias won't move. He's waiting for the right moment, the right omens from the gods. Both sides are making daily sacrifices, trying to divine the will of heaven. And for days, the omens for both commanders say the same thing. Defend, and you will be victorious. Attack, and you will be destroyed. This is where it all starts to go wrong. War is chaos. It's never clean. Pausanias' position is becoming impossible. The Persian cavalry has finally managed to capture and poison the spring that provides the entire Greek army with its water. They have no supplies, no water, and a massive enemy army staring them down. Pausanias has to make a choice. He makes a tough, dangerous call. A nighttime withdrawal to a new position, closer to a fresh water source and safer from the cavalry. But moving tens of thousands of men from different cities, with different commanders, in the dead of night, in enemy territory, it's a recipe for absolute disaster. And this one goes horribly wrong. Communication breaks down. One Spartan commander flat out refuses to move, thinking a retreat is dishonorable. The center of the Greek line gets lost in the dark and ends up scattered. By the time the sun begins to rise, the Greek battle line is a complete and utter mess. It's fragmented into 3 separate groups, with huge gaps between them. To Mardonius, watching from his camp, this looks like one thing and one thing only: a full-blown retreat. The cowardly Greeks have finally broken. They're running for the hills. He thinks he has them. He thinks he's won. This is the moment. The culmination of a year of waiting. The moment Mardonius has staked his entire reputation on. He turns to his elite troops, the Persian immortals, the best of the best, and gives the order, charge. He's not waiting for the rest of his army to form up. He's going for the kill. He wants to ride them down and annihilate them. He personally leads the charge on his magnificent white horse, a gleaming figure of supreme confidence. The Persian infantry surges forward with them, a tidal wave of wicker shields and screaming warriors, convinced they're about to crush the last remnants of a fleeing, broken army. They've made one fatal mistake, a mistake that will cost them an empire. They've mistaken a Spartan tactical withdrawal, however messy, for a rout, and they are about to learn the difference. Pausanias sees the Persian wave coming. He's exposed, with only the Spartans and their loyal neighbors, the Tegeans, at his side. He desperately tries to send a messenger to the Athenians for help, but it's too late. The Persian cavalry is upon them. Arrows rain down. Men are falling. It's a moment of sheer crisis. Pausanias makes a sacrifice, praying for a sign. The omens are still bad. His men are dying around him, and he still won't give the order to advance. Finally, as he looks towards a temple of Hera in the distance and prays, the omens turn favorable. He gives the order. As the Persians close in, the Spartans and Tegeans do something that must have frozen the blood in Mardonius's veins. They turn, they halt, and in perfect, disciplined unison, they lower their spears, lock their shields, and form the phalanx. A solid wall of bronze, muscle, and 8-foot spears, the triumphant Persian charge, so full of momentum, crashes into this immovable object, and the slaughter begins. This is what a Spartan warrior lives and dies for. All those years of the agoge, the brutal training, the beatings, the starvation, it was all for this single moment. Their heavy bronze armor and iconic helmets deflect the Persian arrows and swords. Their long spears outreach the shorter Persian weapons, keeping the enemy at a distance while inflicting horrific casualties. It is a killing machine. The great historian Herodotus tells us the Persians fought with incredible bravery. They were not cowards. They dropped their bows, rushed forward, and physically grabbed the Spartan spears, trying to snap them and break the phalanx with their bare hands. But it was no use. The Spartan line held. It pushed forward, slowly, relentlessly. It was a grinder of men. And there, in the thick of the chaos, Mardonius, the architect of this whole campaign, fighting bravely amongst his men, is struck down and killed by a Spartan warrior. His dream of conquering Greece dies with him, right there in the mud. His death is the tipping point. The men fighting around him see him fall. The heart of the Persian army is ripped out. Their courage evaporates. Replaced by sheer terror, the charge collapses. The attack turns into a desperate, chaotic retreat. And now, the rest of the Greek army comes crashing in. The Athenians, having won their own brutal fight against the pro-Persian Greeks on the other flank, turn and join the main battle. The entire Greek force surges forward, a tidal wave of vengeance, chasing the fleeing Persians back to their wooden fortress. The fight isn't over. The Persians barricade themselves inside their camp, but the Athenians, masters of siege warfare, smash open the gates. What follows isn't a battle, it's a massacre. The Persian army, trapped, demoralized, and leaderless, is slaughtered. And as if the gods themselves had scripted this day, something else was happening hundreds of miles away, across the Aegean Sea. On the very same day as the Battle of Plataea, the Greek fleet found the remnants of the Persian navy beached at Mycale, on the coast of modern-day Turkey. The Greek sailors and marines stormed the shore, torched the ships, and destroyed the Persian army guarding them. It was a staggering double victory, a 1-2 punch that didn't just end the invasion. It broke the back of Persian power in the Aegean forever. The dream of a Persian Europe died in the blood-soaked fields of Plataea and the burning wreckage at Mycale. This was more than a victory. It was the dawn of a new age. It ensured the survival of Greek independence, Greek ideas, Greek culture. It paved the way for the golden age of Athens, for the construction of the Parthenon, for the birth of democracy, philosophy, and theater as we know it. All of it, the world we inherited from the Greeks, was hanging by a thread, and that thread was held firm on that one bloody day. So, the next time you hear the story of the 300 at Thermopylae, remember that it wasn't the end.